Hi, it's Lynn from LynnieCDesigns, and today I'm coming on to show you how I made this card. It's one of the projects we made at class using the Happy Birthday Thinlits and class card. I used Petal Burst embossing folder, but for this one I'm going to use the Tufted Dynamic Textured Impressions folder. I've got the in colour ribbons because I'm not sure which one I'm going to use or even if I'm going to use it. And for the ink colours, I have got the in colours in the new stamp pads, an aqua painter and some glue. So I've got a base of crumb cake which is 21 by 10.5, scored at 10.5, so making a square card, and then 2 sheets of a whisper white, and then a bit of watercolour paper. I'm doing the whole of the Happy Birthday Thinlit, not just on the other card I did Happy Birthday. So I've already squeezed some ink into the lids of the ink pads. I'm going to add a little bit of water to each of those and create a bit of a rainbow or a colour wash on the watercolour paper. I want the colours quite vibrant, so I'm not going to wet the paper first. I'm just going to go in, add a little bit of water to each of the colours, but I'm just going to come across and you can see that I'm creating a little bit of a wash. So I'm wiping off my brush in between, but I'm quite happy to let the colours run a little bit. I quite like to have them mixing in. And you can see that the watercolour paper is actually bending a little bit, but that's absolutely fine. So just coming back in with the lovely lipstick. I just love these colours. And just covering that sheet completely. And then I'll go off and dry that with the heat tool and come back to you shortly. So here we are. We're very happy with the way that's dried. Get rid of some of the ink from the lids of those ink pads and then firmly shut them up. You really have to make sure that they're closed, otherwise they will dry out. So I'm going to cut out, I'll bring in my lovely Big Shot and cut out the word, the die. So I'm going to use the whole one from that. Just position it right and then run it through. Because it's fairly intricate, I'm going to run it through back and forward. And while I've got my Big Shot there, I'm going to use the embossing folder. And now there's a line on this embossing folder which is really handy to line up the cardstock so that it goes in straight and gives you a good impression. So run that through. You only need, because it's a dynamic one, you only need one cutting pad. So let's put that away and see what that looks like. And it's just lovely. It really does give a lovely impression. I think I'm going to use this I can see I'm going to be using that quite a lot. And let's get the watercolour paper out of the die. It comes out really easily. Just poke out some bits, and that's very soft. It's not dark at all. So I've decided I'm not going to add any ribbon. And what I did was, out of some craft foam, I also cut out the die, and I'm going to glue those two together just to give it a bit of depth. Now I could have cut the Happy Birthday several times from cardstock and layered them all together, but I thought this is a fun way of doing it. So I've got my silicone mat, a little bit of glue and a little bit of stamping sponge just to get some glue on the back of that watercolour die cut, and then stacking it on the fun foam. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it's quite nice just to have a little bit of a shadow, but as it's going on white card it doesn't really matter. So we'll quickly glue that onto the base. I think we're going to have a top folding base. Stick that in place, and then I'm going to just add a little bit of glue to the back of that die cut piece. Probably should have it laid down, but just very quickly doing it. You don't need very much, and it's quite easy. The glue dries clear anyway, so you can get away with it if you want to. And just putting that on a bit of a jaunty angle, which I'm really happy with that. And then, because it's a soft, pretty card, I'm coming in with the Wink of Stella pen just to add a little bit of shimmer to that word. And I think what I'm going to do, I'll do, you'll see pictures of it on my blog, but afterwards I decided I wanted a little bit extra, so I've used a retired punch to punch out some little flowers from the die cut piece and added it. So that's very quickly. I'll do the inside. I'm going to leave the inside blank because I'm not sure what I'm going to put on that. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoy my videos. Thank you for subscribing. All the details will be on my blog. So thanks for watching and see you again soon. Bye bye for now.